Hi, everyone. Welcome to Friday Eve. It's 11:47 in the evening. We wanted to start this a little bit earlier, but we were working on a snow color table.
Yeah, and it was a lot more involved than we thought.
We didn't get anywhere, too, but we're trying to just adjust it, make it look a little better, but we're both in kind of a little bit of a
Yeah, a
disagreement.
lot of
So,
tedious typing.
a lot of tedious typing, a lot of data points. Let's get to it. We don't want to waste a whole lot of time. We've got the Arctic plunge that's coming our way. We've got some rain coming tomorrow. Let's break all this down here and show you what we've got going on. Hope everybody had a great Thursday. What an amazing weather day.
Oh, it was just gorgeous.
Man.
I had the window open in the car. It was
Yeah.
sunny. Felt like, spring.
It did feel like spring.
Yeah.
And then you see the snow still on the ground.
Yeah.
So let's show you this, the Arctic blast. Oh, man, is this coming our way? We'll show you what the temperatures are to the northwest. This is dropping south like a rock. So some people coining this the Arctic hammer. It's going to be pretty cold. Vegas is not as cold. As you can see, Vegas is kind of on the western side of that Arctic plunge. So you really don't get much of a cold snap as much as we do here in the central U.S. And look at that Arctic blast dropping south. Anytime you see those purple shades, now keep in mind, 850 millibars is about 5,000 feet up. The reason we show you this, it's not that cold where we're at the ground, but with a surface temperature map, you get warming during the day and then cooling at night. And so the map kind of breathes a little bit when you animate it.
It's kind of hard to read.
Yeah. So this just shows you a little bit better without all those fluctuations in temperatures. And people want to know, what about snow? Well, there's definitely a lot of that in Western Canada. In fact, look at this. Wow, now we're at minus 30, Zach.
Old Crow. I wonder what the population of Old Crow is.
I don't know. Have to look that up. Not me, that's for sure. Would you be there?
Negative 30?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can try it out. That. You can do some cool things at negative 30. You can
polar plunge.
Yeah, you can do a polar plunge if the water's not frozen.
You gotta have some salt water.
Yeah. Also, too, you could take a whole pot of boiling water, throw it up in the air, and I think it would just disappear before any of it hits the ground. It would just completely evaporate. Okay, going back to this, so that's some cold weather coming our way. Let me show you what the temperature map looks like when we look at the surface temperatures. And you're going to see what we were talking about where it kind of breathes. And it's just hard to read, but it gives you an idea of that cold. So right here. Now here's a surface map, and watch what it does. When we animate it, you're just going to see it kind of, see how it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. That's the daytime diurnal warming, and then it kind of drops. And yeah, the Arctic plunge. See how that map moves around? That's why we use 850 millibars. Okay, going to the forecast. We do have rain coming our way. It starts as early as tomorrow, early afternoon. Let's get to the timing on that. Here's a look at the rain chances. Again, this is all liquid because we're way above freezing. Temperatures warming to around upper 50s, around 60 degrees, maybe mid 50s with that cloud cover coming in. Joshua Medlock gave the answer right there. Old Crow, Yukon, Canada, 236.
Oh,
235.
Some
now.
hardy folks up there.
No kidding, man. That's wild. And then you think about summertime where they barely get any darkness.
I've always wanted to go up there and experience the midnight sun.
Yeah, that would be really wild.
I heard like the vegetation gets super green in the summertime because you just have nonstop sun.
Oh, I can believe that.
Yeah.
So there's the rain chances. Let's play the computer model forecast. And by the way, we got the Arctic front. One of the things really cool, Zach, and it took forever to explain this, and I was getting wrapped when I was doing weather forecasts, but the winds, these are called wind streams, streamlines, wind currents, whatever you want to deem it. Basically, what this shows is that the winds are weaker and more easterly in the river valley. You can barely see it, but just not as much wind. Where it's over the northwest Arkansas area, it's a south wind. So therefore, temperatures could be colder in the morning in the river valley than it is in northwest Arkansas. But watch what happens during the afternoon. That southerly wind starts kicking in. The mixing occurs. There's the rain that's popping up. So we're expecting rain Friday early afternoon. Those winds, they're going to be howling.
I'm surprised a wind advisory might,
I could see that tomorrow
Yeah.
morning getting issued. Then you'll see the rain popping up. So this is Friday afternoon that I think, a few tenths of an inch of rain, not out of the question. Maybe a rumble of thunder in the river valley. This is a strong enough system where there could be a thunderstorm or two. And then the system moves out, and here comes the Arctic hammer.
That's it.
This front, man, it means business. It comes in about midnight, and watch the northwest winds start to really kick in too as we put this into motion. So now we're north winds at 15 sustained. You can see those wind streams showing dark blue colors. That's a cold temperature. And then you can see that cold air continuing to filter in. Now, did you go mostly cloudy Saturday
I put snow,
on weather rate? Okay, so it doesn't. You don't even.
so you don't
even
put
have-
cloud cover.
So I do think some snow happens on Saturday, and we're going to get to the Fujiwara effect too. That here's the thing with the Fujiwara is that if you're talking about that low that's way out west, that thing just sits there, doesn't go
Yeah,
anywhere.
That's weird.
We'll show you that in just a bit. But there's the cold weather plunging south. Now, I think a little bit of moisture gets squeezed out. So this is Saturday evening, and look at those wind streams, man. They are
That's-
showing up.
Wonder what the wind chill factor will be Saturday evening.
It'll probably be
Probably
around
upper single digits.
upper
maybe?
single digits. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. We'll look at that. We'll take a look at the wind chill. But there's the future track, and I think a little bit of snow gets squeezed out. Now, Deborah, you might need to do more praying because this doesn't have a lot, but it has enough moisture where I think it squeezes out a few flurries. Case in point, we look at the European. European has been pretty consistent, showing this little wave Saturday evening into Sunday morning. Now, it could be stronger. We're still a couple of days out from this, and that moisture could be a little bit more. Remember, it's really cold, so this will be a fluffy snow, where as opposed to last Thursday into Friday, it was more of a wet snow, perfect snowball making snow. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then here's the system next week. Now, remember, Arctic air continues to surge south. So what does that do? That's going to push the storm system south as well. And I think that this energy does barely miss us to the south. And we might squeeze out a little bit of flurries Monday night into Tuesday. But this is where I think the snow really develops. That's going to be south of us. This could be a major winter storm across the southeastern U.S. And in fact, some of the models are showing some significant icing.
Yeah,
in
they were
Florida.
showing the icing, Florida panhandles, like Jacksonville area.
You don't normally see that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's true. Deborah, it can always happen. You can get more. So, and didn't expect it. Thought northern Benton County wouldn't get as much. You got a lot. Everybody got a lot of snow essentially. So yeah, if you're hoping for snow, you can pray for it, and we'll see. I just don't see quite the same pattern. But here's the models, what they say. So the graph has a little dusting here and there, not much. The European has a little bit more, maybe a half inch of a little bit of widespread dusting. That makes sense. The GFS, hey, now it's starting to it has a little pocket in
Yeah,
there.
it's got a hint.
It didn't have anything before at all. And then the NAM has just a little dusting. So flurries, light dusting, not out of the question. And that's about it. The snow chances next week for New Orleans are pretty high, honestly. We can look at some probabilities, but if we go back to this map, and remember, this is just the European, but golly.
Crazy how far south that snow is. The Gulf Shore.
That's a strong system, and that's pretty far south.
It doesn't
so-
happen very often.
No, it doesn't.
Down there, Houston.
New Orleans, very good chances for snow. And the probabilities are a lot higher down there. Now, one of the things I want to show you is the vorticity, because there's a lot of energy. And Deborah, if you're hoping for more snow, that's definitely a possibility. The cold weather is dropping south because of this giant dip in the jet stream that's about to evolve with a ridge. Now, here's this low that's out there that just kind of churns, but look at all this energy. That could bring some thunderstorms tomorrow, honestly. And then that system zips out. After that, here's this system coming through Saturday night into Sunday morning. That's a lot of energy, in my opinion. And be honest with you, it's kind of a little bit of a northwest flow. And that northwest flow means that we could see a little bit more precipitation, but it's not focused. The lift is focused more south. So that's why it doesn't have as much. But I've seen plenty of systems where, you got all these little pieces of energy and anything can happen. Now, that continues to drop south. Here's the next storm. This has ice storm written all over it for the southeastern US. It's a large positively tilted trough. You can see that energy lagging back, very similar to what we had in 2009 with a positively tilted trough, that ice storm. But remember, this is way farther south. Our dip in the jet stream was kind of focused across the southwestern United States. This is across the central United States. So the icing would be farther southeast. And then that system zips out. What's ahead after that? Who the heck knows? Because there's so much energy, and I don't see the models how they're warming it up as much with that type of flow. It just doesn't look right. Let's look at the wind chill. And you were talking about it, Zach. Saturday night. Anybody that has outdoor plans, it'll be pretty darn cold.
You would think that ridge would just keep going eastward, but just kind of hanging back.
Because I think we get another blast of cold air. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the ICAST. We've got the wind barbs on there. This is going to pop up here soon and populate it. And this time, instead of the wind barbs being colored to the temperature or the wind streamlines, we've got it essentially all white. So you can really see the motions in the winds. I like that too, because you can see the color scale. So there's Saturday. Look at that. Wind chills in the low 20s already in the morning. Then it tries to rebound a little bit as the temperature warms. But honestly, we may not get a whole lot of sunshine on Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be totally sunny with all that energy rolling in. Here's Saturday evening. Oh, there you go, Zach. Lower teens. We're going to continue to drop it. That's as far as it goes. Let's look at this. This goes out a little farther because this is an ICAST data. ICAST data only goes out 48 hours. So we'll go to Saturday, 9 p.m. There you go. So here's Saturday, 9 p.m. Teens, and then I guess it doesn't go that far. This one will go out farther. Okay, here's Saturday, 9 p.m. And then watch this. Sunday morning. Oh, yeah. Single-digit wind chills getting to near zero. Look at those wind streams, man. This air is going to stink.
Sunday morning off to church, first thing.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty cold.
That's cold.
And then Sunday afternoon, look at that. I mean, wind chills is still around single digits, even during the afternoon. I'm not looking forward to this cold weather at all.
No, and then Monday morning, the thermometer will be in the single digits.
You want to see that?
Yeah.
So the European has been pegging this for a while. Here's Monday. Remember, the resolution is a little less, but it did have negative wind chills. Huntsville at -1. Speaking of Huntsville, shout out to Madison County, because check this out. Oh, we got a new weather camera. It's the same one location-wise. However, now it's been upgraded to one of our newer ones in great and low light conditions, and it's a pan tilt zoom. So we got a new one at Huntsville. Excited about that.
Yeah, it was great, nice and crisp. See the stars.
Yeah, that means that that system's on the way, because we don't have any cloud cover today. But going back to this, that is just. Now here's the deal: the models. Does it really warm up that fast?
I'm not buying it.
Yeah,
I think Tuesday morning should be colder than Monday morning.
Arctic air is colder and sticks around longer than what the models show.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Okay, so real quick, snow probabilities. Yeah, hibernating. That's the best plan for sure. Let's look at some snow probabilities, and we'll look at the Weather Prediction Center, and then we'll kind of shut it down because there's not a whole lot of other stuff we can look at. And let's see if anything added on here. Okay. That makes sense. So this is 72-hour accumulation, basically ending 0Z Monday. So there you go. We're going to show this here in a second. Stand by. Zach, you want to push some buttons?
Oh, I can't. I don't know how to do this. What do you do?
Oh, you don't?
Go.
Mm-hmm.
Share.
Open screen share. Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yep. All right. So we'll just do this. Stand by. No severe weather coverage. Wrong button. All right. I'm going to share this. There you go. So here is the probabilistic precipitation portal for at least 1 inch of snow on the ground ending Sunday night. And you can see it's about, not 1 inch, excuse me, 0.1 inches. Zach was about to slap me upside the head. 0.1 inches. And so that shows you that the chance of a dusting, we're getting up there. We're over 50%, which is why we've got snow in the forecast for Saturday night and Sunday morning. At least 1 inch, showing a little bit of probability.
Like 1%?
No, 6-7%. So it's pretty low. Now let's go down to New Orleans. At least 2 inches, 4 inches. Guess what? It's not showing up. You know why? This only goes to Sunday night. The snow in New Orleans doesn't happen until Monday night into Tuesday. So it's not going to show up. But we can do this. These probability forecasts don't go out very far. So that's why you won't really see it, to be honest with you. And everything else is, you can't really go too far out. The probabilistic winter storm index, and this only goes out to basically, not very far, but you start to see some indications here of some pretty significant snows farther south. And so this is the probability of minor impacts. That shows you that Northwest Arkansas could see some minor impacts. We're stepping forward, and you can see how that's making it all the way down there. I mean, maybe not going that far south as the European shows. Chance for moderate impacts, major impacts. There's a percentage. Extreme. Now, extreme, I think you're going to see that when we get to the icing potential. Look at that. So let's go to ice accumulation. I bet you that's what that is. Yeah, they're not going to do that far out. So yeah, they're calling it snow, but they don't have the southeast for the icing. So, anyways, that gives you an idea with that. And then we go to the probabilistic. It's great, but it only goes out so far. That's the problem. And I think that's about it. Not much to show you. Day 4 through 7 outlook. So if we click on this, this will show you of snow and sleet. It's up to already 30%. And then there's the track of the low. So the big takeaways here, guys, are essentially it's looking likely that this snowstorm will be south of us for Tuesday, Monday night into Tuesday. I think we do get some light snow Saturday, as you saw, that probability of at least 0.1 inches. It will be brutally cold. Not looking forward to that. And we got rain coming tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, we got one person just tuning in.
We'll show the 7-day. How about that?
Yeah.
Just tuning in. Here's the deal. We're not expecting more snow. We are expecting a little dusting Saturday night into Sunday morning. You might start hearing about that, but it still is questionable if it even happens too. So, will there be thunderstorms in Las Vegas when it gets somewhere outside? So that's a good question. I think there's a lot of energy moving in, and if we look at this, you could see that system coming in. If you're watching from Las Vegas, I think the system's going to be a little south of Las Vegas. So I don't know if you're going to see thunderstorms because look, here's the low. The low is already south of Las Vegas, and it's moving east pretty quick. So if we look at the day one convective outlook, I don't think thunderstorms are going to be in there. Nope. They are to our east, though. The day 2 is southeast, and the day 3 is southeastern U.S. too as well. So no thunderstorms for Las Vegas. And you guys were asking about temperatures. Well, let's see here. I don't have Las Vegas on here, but what I could do is pan over and we could take a look at the surface temperatures. And here's what we'll do just for you. We'll go into here. We'll go into METAR plot. This is kind of cool watching me do this. Let's pick Las Vegas. We'll go done. And now you'll get to see the temperatures for Las Vegas. So, yeah, 55, 56. Not too bad. 57. I mean, it's definitely cooler than it normally is. And then look, the Arctic air, it really doesn't have an influence at all. Monday's high, still around 50 degrees. So you aren't getting that cold. It'll be cold in the morning, though, getting down below freezing. And that's going to be Tuesday morning. And then it starts warming back up again.
Still pretty cold. 40s in the afternoon.
Well, here's a question. Will road conditions be safe to travel from Fayetteville to Kansas on Saturday? Saturday morning, yes. Absolutely. There won't be anything Saturday morning.
Yeah.
The cold front comes in. There may be some flurries, but light snow will be Saturday afternoon into the evening. Now, Shanna, I don't know about this. I don't know a bunch about it. I heard it's possible arson, but, either way, they're terrible, those fires. Now, the weather actually helped fuel the fires.
Yeah.
It made it really difficult for the firefighters, but do you know more about it?
Well, I think the wind is starting to die down a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
But they're talking about, are the fires in Cali from arson or from natural?
Yeah, I mean, you hear a lot of things. It's hard to know what's true and what's not.
Yeah. Just like weather forecasts on social media, you hear a lot of things, don't know what's true.
Yeah.
I do want to show one thing, and we'll stop this live. So we'll go less than 30 minutes here. But this is what I want to show you, the 7-day, and then I want to show you weather Plinko, because I want to give you an idea of why long-range forecasting is so difficult. So here is the chance of rain for Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the mid-30s, mid-20s, low 20s, maybe some places in the upper teens, and then Tuesday in the upper 20s. So, oh no. Something's missing on there, Zach.
Talk about.
Get the forecast sheet out. Stand by. We got to add the winds on there.
Oh, yeah, because you were doing radio when I was doing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crap.
Hold on. Let me put those winds in there. Stand by.
'cause you were doing
Go ahead and just read them off. I know we got south
15, 25
15
plus,
to 25 plus.
north 10, 20 plus, north 10, 15 plus.
Okay, well, north 10 to 15 plus. So you're getting to see us alter this right now.
North 5-10
All right, north 5 to 10, and then
is variable.
now watch. In 3, 2, 1, winds. There they are. So we typically put the winds on there to give you an idea what those winds look like. I knew it was looking bare
Yeah.
in the 5-day forecast. Now, the only reason we show it on 5 days and not 7 is it'd get too cluttered. But we're one of the only ones that put winds on the 7-day. And we're going to keep doing that. South
it's
winds 15 to 25 with some higher gusts. Look at the winds. Saturday, north 10 to 20 with some higher gusts. And then Sunday will be breezy as well, blustery. Now, even though north 10 to 20 doesn't feel bad, it's a cold wind, and that's why we got Windy Willie on there. We
Yeah.
coined him.
There he is. blown away.
I don't know why we came up with that name, but I think it's funny.
I
Windy
think
Willie.
it suits.
So this is for Northwest Arkansas, Lisa. We will show the River Valley here in a second. The 7-day forecast shows windy Friday. Whoops. Wow. That advanced quick. Strong Arctic blast. There's the flurry potential for Northwest Arkansas for Sunday into Monday, or Monday into Tuesday. So that's going to be 15 to 25 sustained. Gusts will be higher than that. That's why we got the plus for the gusts. And then you'll notice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, temperatures in the upper 20s to mid 30s. Next, your River Valley forecast. Pretty darn cold. 30 at Sunday, Martin Luther King Day, 27. And 32 on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday in the upper 30s. Cautiously optimistic on that. Maybe upper 30s. I think by the end of the week we'll warm up above freezing. But if you'll notice, we got multiple hours from basically Saturday afternoon all the way through Wednesday afternoon. We are going to remain below freezing.
Yeah.
And really cold too in the mornings. So pipes going to be bursting, man, if you don't have them situated. I got to get my backyard set up too for the cold. I got to take down some equipment and blow out the garden hoses. Got to do that. All right. Last thing is long range forecasting. And it's called Weather Plinko. You've seen Plinko on the prices, right? I'm sure you have. Here is a great example of how long range forecasting can vary so much and why it peeves me to no end when you see these forecasts on social media posting all this stuff and making it seem matter of fact, like this is what's going to happen. It's absolutely no question. You can't do that. Here's why. The forecast for long range, you can think of it like a Plinko board. You drop the puck or the disc up at the top of the board, and there's a lot of varying solutions that you can have. You can go all the way from 0 to 12 inches in the middle, or maybe even more of snow. The models are putting out all sorts of different amounts. Well, the current conditions represents this puck, or essentially the disc. And there are many paths that forecast can take, as you can tell. Each step is dependent on the path beforehand, because you can't just go to the right immediately. There's got to be a chain of reaction or a domino effect. But the problem is that the forecast 10 days out, which is what people normally show with these computer model forecasts, is what's known as a probabilistic. It's called deterministic model. So it's just basically one solution. This one solution that the model shows will change 6 hours from the time that it updated, and sometimes it takes the snow completely out. So the forecast 10 days out is very much uncertain. However, as we get closer to the actual day that it snows or potentially snows, one small deviation can make a big difference, as you can tell. But now this puck isn't going to drop most likely in the 12 anymore. It could have up here and it showed 8, but now it's over here. So as we get closer, we're narrowing down that time window to where we can learn how much snow is going to happen for several reasons. Number one, we got high resolution model data. Number two, we got basically better sampling of the air from weather balloons and ACARS soundings with planes and stuff like that. So there's a lot more data going into as we get closer to what's going to actually happen. But remember, that essentially still can change, though. Go anywhere from 0 to 4. But the closer we get to the event day, the fewer possible paths there are. I think that's a great way to describe long-range forecasting, because too many times people take one deterministic model and they just post it right up here.
Yeah.
10 days out.
I do like that example. I've never seen that before, but definitely good, because now you can tell that, it's definitely not going to be a foot now.
Yeah. And then it'll drop and we'll see which one we get.
Yeah.
And then you have sometimes the overthinking, where you have all these negative influences that can lower the snow totals, and then that doesn't happen, and then it ends up snowing, a decent amount.
That can happen too.
Yeah, it did happen.
Yeah, it did.
Last Thursday into Friday. So one last question here, and then we'll wrap it up. I've lived here 3 years now. Is this a heavy snow year? Well, believe it or not, we already got our average snowfall for the season in one system. Actually, 2 to 3 systems. We had a little bit of a trace on that Sunday, little dusting. That'll be what we get, I think, Saturday night is what we had last Sunday. Maybe a little less.
Yeah, well, with that system, there was a little threat of freezing rain, and for this one, it's going to be all snow.
Yeah.
So,
Now, did the freezing rain come to fruition?
No, I think it was cold enough to be all snow.
Not last Thursday, Friday, but the Sunday
night
system. Yeah. Yeah, Alex, you're actually talking about that, the Fujiwara effect. Fujiwara is when you have two circulations that spin around each other. Let's look at that. It's a good question. So let's do this. And I got to do a water vapor. Let's go 48 hours and let's see what happens. Now it's downloading the data, so it's going to take just a little while. There's just all sorts of weirdness going on. There's definitely two spins. Yep. You can take a full now. Yep. So there you go, Alex. There's the spins in the atmosphere. There's that cutoff low. And then you got additional spins that are circulating around, and then there's the two lows that are happening. This one just comes out of nowhere. This is a great example of how the rubber band stretches and then it snaps and then it starts creating a low pressure system. So when we say high angular momentum in terms of big dips in the jet stream with tornado outbreaks, you got really zonal flow. That's high angular momentum. In this case, you've got the jet stream going straight north to south, which does develop a low. And so essentially you're like pulling the rubber band back and then you let it go and it snaps. And then when it snapped, it developed this low right here. So let's go back even farther. Or should I say further, not farther. Let's go back minus 72 and then go here. And then let's put this into motion. So now you've got that one low. And look at that low. It's even got an eye to it.
Yeah.
How about that? And then that gets absorbed. Another low starts wrapping around, just like what Alex Hall said with the Fujiwara effect. And I can tell you this is a big system. There is no doubt that this is going to bring rain. I mean, look at this thing. It's easily going to rain tomorrow. So anyways, that's what we're kind of looking at. Great example of the Fujiwara effect. Now, here's what's weird about this is that this low out west is just churning. Look at this thing is cut off. So it's not going anywhere. Look at that thing just spinning, and it's underneath a ridge. So it really doesn't get absorbed until, well, really, honestly, maybe until early next week.
It's wild.
Or until the week before. But look at all that energy, man. That is just a ton. So here's a question. Why is the GFS not producing snow for Saturday night into Sunday? Well, it's all about just a matter. It's probably still got a system. There's a system coming in tomorrow. It still has a system. So why doesn't that amount of energy right there break out precipitation is beyond me.
Maybe just too dry.
Yeah, it could be too dry. And then there's that energy, and then the GFS kicks that thing. He's fast. Oh yeah, that's
that.
Well, if that even comes to fruition. So
That's snow. That's freezing rain. That's sleet. That's the whole mixed bag of precip.
But remember, we're up at the top of the Plinko board.
Yeah. So
and
it's
look,
a possibility.
and look, here's Thursday, January 23rd, 8 a.m. And we're gonna load the same model Thursday, January 23rd, 8 a.m. Totally different
It's
solution.
kind of hanging back.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, that's enough. Any last questions here before we shut this down? And as we know more, as that system comes ashore and the Arctic air starts plunging south, get ready, man. It is. I am not looking forward to it. I don't know. I've dreaded this cold more than any cold we've seen this year so far. Number one, it's going to be the coldest weather we've seen so far this year.
Well, without the cold, would you appreciate the warmth?
Yeah.
If it was just 75 degrees every single day,
Yeah.
would you really appreciate that if it didn't get cold?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know.
I would. It's a good question. Brian asked, why am you awake? I don't know. It's over. Go home. It's done.
Yeah.
What are you still doing here? All right. See you guys. Take care. God bless. Have a good one. And we'll see you on the flip side.